Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of building a theme park without any game passes. Of course, we built this futuristic area, or well, we started on it last episode, and today we are going to finish it. And I have actually some very cool ideas I want to add to this to make it a little nicer looking, since right now it's just a few towers, not too futuristic or magical or whatever it is. So let's just get straight into this. So while looking for some stuff, I actually found something I made years ago for a kiddie roller coaster. I made these sort of like crystals, and I actually really like how these crystals are made. This is done without game passes, so I'm going to try and make them again, but decorate them of course a little bit more and with all the new stuff we have right now. So I have here the parts that I think I use for these crystals. So I'm also just going to show you how I actually make these crystals. So if I'm correct, you just rotate them around this. They are quite big, I do have to say that, especially when you start to place all of these primitives. But yeah, these are just the primitives that are down here. You might have to search for them a little bit, since they are a little bit difficult to find, since there's a lot of similar primitives. And then we just add the roof like this, and well, as you can see, then you actually got a quite nice looking big crystal. I'm actually really happy with the design, and we're going to give this 3 colors, since these will sort of be like the colors of like the crystals of life inside of this futuristic area. Since we of course all these towers with different biomes, but they actually get life and color because it's a crystal. So we're going to add a blue, red and yellow crystal, and then we're sort of going to try and connect those crystals. I'm not 100% sure, but they are going to be flying in, well, the sky to make it, I guess, a little bit more futuristic. So what's texture and everything should this be? I'm not 100% sure. I feel there's maybe like there's metal. It is definitely one of the more brighter thing. Maybe foils. Ooh. Oh, okay, no, I found what we're going to do. We're going to make them foil. Look how shiny that looks. Oh, I love that. Then we're doing the same with yellow. Oh, these are very bright. And then I think, yeah, the last one will be just blue. So let's get this light blue color. Let's just group those so we can easily copy all of this over. There we go. So now we need to think what color goes where. So I'm probably just going to place the yellow one here. The red one, I think it's probably going to be up here, I think, just so it's like there. And then the blue one, which will be centered up back here as high as possible. I think these crystal positions are nice, or should it? I'm not sure about the red one. What is another nice position for the red one? Would it be this? I think that it's actually quite nice. Crystals like this. So yeah, these are like going to be connected in some way, and I'm not 100% sure how, but I do actually have glass in mind, and I know this is maybe going to be very weird. I intend to add like a lot of like glass panels in between them. Yeah, beam effect between them. Probably just going to place first all the glass, then the gradient and all that stuff. So let me, yeah, first place all the glass in. I think I now sort of got the first beam in place with the glass, and I actually think this looks very, very nice. Of course, the gradient still needs to be added. Oh, I think that can actually look very good, and actually kind of like the effect it's giving. It's maybe a bit big. I think if I do that for the other ones and then add the gradient, I think that can actually give a very unique effect. Okay, that's all the glass in, and ooh, that's looking so cool. Oh, that just instantly transformed this whole kind of area with like the story itself. I do think there should be something under the crystal, at least on these other two. I'm not sure what, but I will make that a little bit late. But first I actually need to make a gradient from, well, yellow to red, red to blue, and blue to yellow. For that I'm actually going to use this gradient, well, yeah, generator. So we're just going to go from yellow to red, something like that, and then just within 10 colors probably, I'm just going to slowly change the color from, well, one to the other. It's definitely going to take a little bit to make that work. So the first few ones are of course just completely red at the red side, something like that, maybe a little bit even too much. And I just realized, of course, I don't have the color game pass. Oh, I cannot do this. Okay, well then plan B, I will just place like 5 primitives, and one starts at the red and the other one starts at the yellow, and I have to make a gradient. I think that's good enough. Now just also for the other colors. I think it's something like this. The yellow to blue one is actually quite difficult to make a gradient for that with the colors, but the other two are kinda how they should be, with of course just the rainbow color. So that looks kinda nice. Definitely going to be very colorful. Yeah, let me get these gradients onto here and, well, see how they look. Okay, that's the first one actually done from yellow to red, and I actually think that looks very cool. Oh, this is actually turning out even better than I expected. Oh, wow. Okay, well, let me add, well, the other ones too. That's the blue gradient, and I actually think that looks also very good. Now the last one, which, yeah, that's questionable. And actually, I think that one looks pretty decent too. Okay, well there we have the 4 crystals that are sort of like connected with like a laser beam. Oh, I actually have to say I really like that. But I have one final idea which we can maybe add to this. It's like these very small light orbs, and well, of course give them the color of the actual thing what they're in. I'm not sure how much I can place of these, and but yeah, as you can see, it gives me a lot of errors with, well, where I can place them. There we go. Now it even has a little bit more of a neon effect, and especially if I'm now going to make it dark. Let's see how that looks. Oh my god, guys. Okay, this has turned out so much better than I expected. I love that. That is amazing. But it is a little bit missing something under the crystals right now, or at least for the, well, the other 2. And I did have an idea for that. I'm not sure if it's going to look good, but it for sure would be very interesting. And that's actually with the new primitives we got last update. I want to make some, yeah, what is it, like laser beam effect or whatever you you name it. And then for every 2, I just go down 1, something like that. I think this, yeah, this definitely looks better. I kind of like this. So if we're just going to, again, group that and then copy and paste it over to the red crystal, and then I guess try to do the same, but then with, of course, like red gradients. There we go. I think that has sort of like some nice connection, and I don't really have room for something up there now that I realize it, but I guess just the station itself as like the power source to that. That was sort of the extra decoration I wanted to add to this area. Now it's mainly just an entrance here with some of the queue, so I will do that a little bit, and then of course some more trees and nature. And then the last 2 things we have to do before, well, I guess this area is actually already finished, are the 2 inside parts. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do for those, but let's just first start with actually adding like the queue and connecting all of that stuff. But that's very boring, so I won't show you that, since, well, just connecting up some path and stuff and some editing, some signs. So I'll be back once, well, this is all done. Probably also some of the nature. See you in like 10 years.
1 eternity later.
And there we go. The outside of the futuristic area is now finished. As you can see, I've added a lot of nature, added some like stalls just so they are there. It's nothing too special. And just a small white, just something else also in this area. And I think the space rings for some reason just kind of fit. I gave them the same colors as like the crystals. And then there's of course all the nature around it with like the queue and the exit, and then also like the staircases behind there. But that is the outside done, and I'm actually extremely happy with this turnout. It wasn't the plan to do like this from the start, but I actually think it really needed some color, and I think this is like the best thing that I could have done. But we are not finished yet. We have 2 more dark ride scenes to decorate. So the first one is, well, basically in here. So you go into whatever is going to be here. Then you have the big splash, and you will instantly go around the corner, and then, well, within a few seconds you go already up back to the stage. But let's just start with the first, well, part. So let's just start with the first part right here. Now that I think about it, do I want this to be closed? I'm going to try something, guys. Let me just place the terrain and show you. And do something like this. Not entirely close, but some hidden-ish valley. But do actually this. It's not entirely closed. Of course, there's walls around it, so you cannot look out. But I actually think this is a lot nicer. And then the other one will, of course, be actually inside. Now is the question, what do I actually do in here? What if we add actually some more crystals here? Like smaller crystals that actually have all those colors, so you can sort of see where those crystals come from. I guess that's maybe a fun just idea. I'm not sure what I would link to. So we would have like the blue one, the red, yellow crystal, and I guess I'm just going to be placing these in random positions, and that will be it. I don't think all of this decoration should sometimes be too complicated with what it's actually trying to do. It is actually some nice light that also emits, so I guess that's actually kind of nice. And then let's also do actually the ones that are upside down. I'm not sure where those are. Oh, well, here they are. And I guess this would sort of explain the crystal story. I'm not 100% sure if it really does, but we'll just add some more nature and stuff around it, not too much. And then I guess this area here is already finished. I think this looks good enough. It's very colorful, but I guess this just shows where all these crystals come from. So this is where they took the crystals from and made those massive crystals to power the city, something like that. I think that's good enough. But now the last thing we actually have to make is, well, this here, which I guess it's just going to be a cave. I don't want to do more crystals, but I might have an idea for actually something with crystals. So let's say this area here still has all colored crystals and stuff, but let's do crystals here too. But actually let's make them like all gray, as if they have been drained, and let's add like pipes and stuff. I think that can be like a cool like final scene to show that like all the the crystals are basically empty. I think that's cool. Let's do that. And I want to make this actually quite a big room, I think. Like a big final showroom. I think that can be very cool. Only problem I will have is that I do have to make the wall here, since, well, the end of the plot is here. So this wall might look a bit strange, but as long as it's quite dark, I think it will be fine, since, well, all the crystals are basically drained, so there's not that much light coming off them. And again, this is a lot of terrain placing, so it is, again, quite boring. So I'm just going to quickly skip over this while I'm placing all of the terrain and while making it at least look a little bit nice. I do love the terrain in this game. It's very nice, especially when you're building it like this. So, well, yeah, let me just finish this again. Okay, now we actually got the shell of the cave. Yeah, it's quite dark, as you can see, so you're not seeing most of the detail. It still looks nice, I would say, but yeah, let's actually add some of, well, the crystals. We need this one and that, and if we're just going to paint those like gray, I don't think these emit too much light, if I'm correct. No, they barely emit light, so we might need to add a little bit of spotlights, but I also want to add like rusted pipes and stuff like that. I think that can be very cool. Yeah, but yeah, these used to be like the blue and the red and the yellow for crystals, but they've all been drained. So now the cave sort of looks like this, which is actually already very cool, but I do want maybe some spotlights. I think if we just light it up a little bit more so you can see more of the crystals like this. Ooh, I think that's actually very cool. And I don't actually think I should do more than this, apart from, of course, adding some more just very simple rocks around that, just to increase a little bit of detail that you can maybe see. But since it's so dark, I'm not even sure it is worth it putting all of these rocks in. And, well, there we go. Then you have sort of like this, well, drained-ish looking area with all the crystals. Well, they're not colored anymore. I think that's very, very cool. So you have sort of like a drop hole in the dark, and then, well, you basically just go up like this back to the surface into, well, whatever this station is. But guys, that does mean the futuristic area is now finished. We did this whole area in 2 episodes. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It's definitely completely different than anything else we have in the park. And yeah, I think it's very unique. It actually makes it look like it's done with game passes, but it isn't. Of course, the station, we have the area here with the crystals. They're actually colored, and then in the cave, the ones that aren't colored. And I am extremely happy with the end result. So, if you are to, leave a like on this video and make sure to subscribe if you haven't. So guys, I will say, as always, goodbye.